now, and because you think being an opposition, there is a way you can gaslight, you can guilt trip the society into overlooking all the excesses, all the misdemeanor, all the there, whether you are an allegation. That's why I'm against this Section 308 immunity clause that prevented the president, the vice president, the governor, and the deputy governor from facing criminal prosecution.
Why are they not facing?
Even in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu is facing one at the moment, and in some other countries like that, some more advanced, more civilized countries, they don't have such an obnoxious law preventing or indulging corrupt officials in power. So if, assuming we have that Section 308 covering these people, the same how these people will not have any moral ground to try and guilt trip or gaslight the entire society into overlooking all they have done. Particularly people who just left one position recently and are moving to another. For example, if you are a governor, you've been governor for 8 years, and the law, Section 308, prevents the anti-graft agency from checking you, from subjecting you to scrutiny and possible prosecution. Now you are out of it, you are still looking for another immunity. Even it happened in Kogi State. Yaya Bello left and was no longer protected by the same, but the current governor was even trying to extend to distribute it as a kind of favor, his political benefactor, by accommodating inside government house, preventing the EFCC from getting their hands upon him. But at the end of the day, the hand of the law is too strong. The hand of long for you, no matter where you are, it will always catch up with you. So when the Abelo was tired of hiding out, and nothing happened, no part of his body was caught and eaten up by the EFCC. Come and explain.
Before you went from EFCC, yesterday we had something similar talking about Malami, and then they mentioned that EFCC is witch hunting some people that are no longer in government.
That's what I'm saying. It is a hymn book, the same lyric. By the time he leave office now, they will go and pick that book, dust it up, and start singing it again. Different tones, different, maybe a louder speaker. So that is what they do. But we are not going to be hoodwinked. We are not going to be buying into their sentiment. Because when you eat alone, you die alone. When eating, you didn't remember anybody. So go and answer the questions posed to you by the anti-graft agencies. After all, you claim you are clean. A number of opposition figures have been invited and have been left off the hook. Some were released on bail. At least Malami, until he recently declared for ADC, he was still a member of the APC. Yaya Bello is still a prominent member of APC, and he's in the EFCC, under EFCC's radar too. So what is the CUPP saying? Conference of United Political Party, I don't know what they call themselves. What are they saying? So because if you are an opposition party now, it's an armor protecting you from being prosecuted or from being investigated and prosecuted. Come on.
Okay, Ayobola, should we move away from that? I have another headline. Beginning to talking about democracy and politics. Impeachment storm. Fubara says no notice as two lawmakers pull out. Adebayo Abubakar, with the way it's still, going talking about the impeachment of Sinalai Fubara and how it's dragging on and the back and forth. What's your reaction to how do you think this thing is going to play out at the end of the day?
Well, there's this thing, you throw up a knife, it will not land on the flat part of it.
Even if it's 100 times.
Exactly, it will land on the flat part of it. The issue is this back and forth is going to end somewhere someday. Because right now, like I said last week, this is no longer the time when Governor Siminala Ifubara was politically orphaned. It's not an orphan now. He now has APC. All the APC forum, they are behind him. And even the APC as a party, they are behind him. Unlike before, when PDP did not even get themselves. They don't even know. They couldn't account for the secretariat of the party. Not to talk of providing a shield. And again, it is so interesting to note that the two of them now, the two gladiators, that's Wike and Fubara, they are drawing their strength from this. So when this source is tired of their shenanigans, they will tell whoever they prefer. They will choose whoever they prefer and tell the other party, please, enough of your nuisance. So that is where I say, let us just enjoy drama while it lasts. All I know is that it will be interesting to see what APC as a party will do when an APC dominated House of Assembly is threatening to impeach an APC government. This is not a Abakarimi versus NPN. Abakarimi of, Balarabe Musa of PRP in 1981 candidate, and the State House of Assembly dominated, NPN dominated. So it's not the case now. So they belong to the same party, and if the presidency, let me not say presidency, at national level now, is to choose between the House of Assembly dominated by APC and the governorship held by an APC also, your guess is as mine.
Okay, hi, well, can we have another issue? Let's talk about another topic before we go for this commercial break.
All right, I'll be taking my first headline from the Punch newspaper here. Says that 2-year refining milestone, we have fuel import spending crashed to 54% to 6.7 billion naira. So dollars at the bio. Now, in recent times, we've also been hearing, we've been having headlines that has to say that, we've been importing so humongously, despite the fact that we have our own refinery now, and
let me just pause. When we come back, we'll continue from there.
Ready to change any moment into something extraordinary? Flavors made from ingredients, Schweppes excites your senses and satisfies your thirst for quality. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion, unwinding after a busy day, or treating yourself just because, Schweppes is your ideal companion. More than just a drink, but a true experience. Made with over 200 years of experience, Schweppes. Great taste, great flavor. Be original.
Don't let anything stop you from being active. But when a severe headache, I always trust Sudrex Extra. Effective relief for severe headaches, muscle pain, and fever. Sudrex acts fast for pain relief and a non-drowsy effect. Safe and trusted for 20 years. Overcome pain and win your day. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. My first house, I love it. I nearly called 911 after one crush of Mr. Chef Hughes. And cook us for fluently. Even the grumpy Auntie Amina asked for takeaway. Savor the taste of culture with a 2-finger crush of Mr. Chef beef, dawa dawa, and mixed spice cubes. Mr. Chef, taste home, taste culture. Chef. Start your day and have a good time. Even when you need to clear your eyes, or when you need to have the break time. Nati Papagarita.
Good time moments with Kivo Creamer.
Today's review of newspaper headlines and editorials. First, with the news.
Thank you for staying tuned to today's review of newspaper headlines and editorials, and welcome back from that commercial. Now, break. Ayobola, you had started that question on fuel import and
yes, I said in recent times, we've had several accusations that despite the fact that we have the Dangote's refinery working and our own, let me just put it in the same commentaries, but at least trying some sort of wake up. We've been hearing that still humongous importation of fuel. Now, this here says that it's now actually crashing up to 54%. So these two headlines, if you put them side by side, they don't really actually come into to mean one thing. So is it that getting something right if this is actually true, or maybe something is being hidden from us? Maybe maybe Dangote will come again and give us another version of what usually happens.
Well, I think it is a very straightforward and commonsensical thing. It's like a farmer who used to buy a bar from restaurants. Meanwhile, he has cassava at home. Instead of looking for how they would turn their cassava into gari and make their own eba locally. So, if common sense prevails at the end of the day, and he decides to start making his own gari within his own household and making eba, in the long run, you will see that the amount he spent on eating eba when he was buying out from outside compared to when he now produces locally, there's going to be a difference. And that difference is going to be positive. So the same thing here. What they are saying now here is that the amount of forex that is spent on importation of fuel had dropped by 50. What that spending 100 million naira, you now spend 46 million naira in importation, and that has kind of strengthened or at least stabilized our foreign exchange rate. If you look at naira to dollar for the past 4 or 5 months, it has been hovering around 1,450, 1,430 naira to a dollar.
Yes.
And no matter how expensive it is, I beg your pardon, that stability is what foreign investors crave. That's what they want. They want to know, okay, if a dollar is 1 naira, is 2 naira to a dollar, or 2,000 naira to a dollar, whatever it is, they want to be sure that if they are going to invest in Nigeria over the next 10-20 years, this amount is going to be stable so that they can plan their businesses long term.
So have predictions.
And their projection as to how much profit they want to make. But in a situation whereby it goes up and down, it is volatile, it does not encourage investors to come in. So that stability is as a result of the fact that we no longer spend much of our forex, that's the foreign exchange we earn, on importing goods. The last December, it was reported that Nigeria recorded surplus of about $8 billion in balance of payment. What is balance of payment? Balance of payment is the amount you have left once you have gone to sell something abroad, both goods and services, and the amount you pay in return for the goods and services you also enjoy. So for the first time in a very long time, we are recording this humongous amount of surplus. So that is to tell you that our economy, we are getting something right, and we should continue in that direction. So and that is what Dangote is saying. Right now, there is a price war in the petroleum sector. There are some, this Dangote brought it down from where it was, maybe around 8 around 900 to 739 naira. I saw one yesterday, 737. So that's to tell you, Dangote is now crying that the immediate past chairman of the National Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, yes, had issued license in abundance, so that's importation license. That those licenses are the ones that are being brought down to crash the price. You know, it appeared as if he undercut the importers by bringing it down to 7. The importers are now undercutting it again, bringing it to 737. But who is the beneficiary?
The masses.
The masses. The proverbial elephant that suffer when two elephant fight. That elephant has now turned to where they say where two siblings fight over their inheritance. If they kill themselves, a stranger will come and inherit it. The two of them, they are brothers in the petroleum sector fighting themselves, and we are the ultimate beneficiary of what they are fighting over. So it is the masses.
Okay, talking about the masses, this one is on education. Education reforms. Federal government has to unveil new agreement tomorrow. It says ASU and federal government will tomorrow formalize a new agreement that will improve the quality of the university education system and ensure stability. So it was issued here on Sunday, where a ceremony will be held at the Tertiary Education Trust Fund Conference Hall, Abuja, will be presided over by the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Alausa, and of State of Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmad. So I think it's been a while we've heard from the whole back and forth as with the federal government, and this one is coming now. So Adebayo, what's your reaction to this? Should I call it good news? And maybe one will see to resolve exactly how good the news is. So what's your reaction to this?
Well, this is not the first time we are hearing that agreement. This was an agreement that was struck in 2009 and up to today. The successive federal government from Jonathan to Buhari now to they are dodging it. This will write, sign, package and seal it and go and dump it in a shelf. It will be gathering dust and people will be outside. I mean, Nigeria students will be suffering over the lack of irresponsibility of some government officials to follow through the agreement signed on behalf of the federal government. So it is not something to celebrate. The agreement is implemented and ASU are back in the classroom uninterrupted.
Okay.
Well, I do have another one here, also from the Punch. Here's federal government votes 19 billion naira for vice president's aircraft and others. Not the aircraft, but the engine and others. I remember when the president actually had wanted to get his own new aircraft, as at the time he came on, there was a lot of reactions as regards that, whether we would need it, whether we wouldn't. We have this, humongous amount allocated to the Vice President Kashim Shettima over a 3-year period. just a period. So Nigerians are wondering, where are all these monies coming from?
You see, like I said, all these politicians, like we said about those who were complaining about being witch hunted, the same handbook is waiting for APC when they leave office. The same thing now. Before APC came to, they were telling us that they will sell all the presidential fleet, retaining only one or two. Are you aware that the British Prime Minister flies or travels with British Airways? At least if Nigeria does not even have a national carrier, we should at least choose one of the foremost indigenous airline that will be carrying to save cost. Most of these all these aircraft you are seeing, to fly them or not, there is a daily maintenance fee. There is. Even there was a time they had one in the UK when Buhari was hibernating there. We were paying, I think they said we were paying £3,000 per day for not its loan, just to hang it there. And not to talk of the amount engineers will be using to check the engine, so that when any time the president is ready to come back, they will make sure that it is in an airworthy condition. So the more they talk about cutting down the cost of governance, the more they expand it. If you look at the number of aircraft in the presidential fleet, you will scream. You wonder if the federal government is running an airline business.
Well, this
meanwhile, it formed one of the APC's campaign promises pre-2015, that they will bring down the number of aircraft, they will do this, they will do that, only for them to come in. Are you aware that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Yes.
After coming on board, and so many that are on ground are also being, there was a time Seyi Tinubu flew presidential jet to go and watch polo in Kano. the son of the president. That is how our political elite can be. But let ABC leave power today. They will go and bring all these things and dust it and turn it upside down and start using it to fire whoever takes over from them.
And this is just maintenance, not even to get, which is...
They may even come and do before midway into the year and tell you that they need to buy another one. They will even have bought it before they send the request for approval to the National Assembly.
So at the end of the day, there is no...
So you and I will scream here and nothing will happen.
All right, well, there's another one here, an interesting one to be precise, on the front page of Vanguard. It says that Trump puts himself as acting president of Venezuela.
I was just looking at that story.
Okay, really? Okay, yeah, so Adebayo, you see, initially, some people had asserted that probably it's not just about the crime or purported crime alleged to have been conducted by the president, that he actually took. Let's just put it like that. And that there's more to it. A lot of people were citing the oil and everything. But now that he's acting president, an acting president will make a whole lot of policies, and of course which will include oil as well. Can we not say that those who were saying something at that time actually had some substance in what they were saying?
One thing I like Donald Trump for is that he's a very honest man. You may not agree with whatever to do, but he's going to be very honest with you.
This is what is
brutally honest.
Yes, he's going. Sorry, he may not be coming out to tell you verbatim, but his action will leave you in doubt as to where he's headed. When they said they indicted Nicolas Maduro of drug trafficking, drug peddling, the president of Honduras, former president of Honduras, was convicted in New York and he pardoned. So if the fight was actually against narcotics, they wouldn't have done somebody who was just convicted and then start going after a sitting president in violation of international law.
Definitely.
So immediately he abducted the president and his wife. The first pronouncement he made is that the US government, oil companies will now come in and administer their oil.
Yes.
And another thing, he went for an oil tanker to Russia, a Russian company and Chinese company siphoning oil. He said their pain is cheap, and that America will buy at the appropriate price and make sure the money is spent on the people of Venezuela. Now, he looked at his Secretary of State, Rubio, and said that he's dreaming of him becoming the president. He's from Venezuela by origin, that Marco Rubio. So he said he's looking at him as somebody who could be a future president of this thing.
Oh,
Only for him to come out yesterday on Truth Social that he's the agent of.
But
Post a picture of himself.
one thing we need to also give back, some sort of coordinator to as regards Trump is that he's always very social media active. Like you would
course.
wonder, so
No one
presidents
is
can
adding his-
be, as a president can be that
He's
active.
a populist. He's a populist. He's a politician that knows the power of populism. They appeal to the sentiment of ultra white supremacists in America. Those who are saying they were MAGA.
The
They
MAGA,
believe-
yes, make America.
You know,
great
it's a kind of dressed in a very elegant robe, all in the name of national American first. Are you more American than others? Donald Trump himself, his father is an immigrant. His father was an immigrant. His wife is the senior wife, I think Melanie, is also an
The
immigrant.
first lady is an immigrant. Let's go for this
So-
commercial break. We'll continue from there. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Baba, make you help me, oh. Make I dey shine my eyes. Make my enemies not see me, oh. Even when I dey sleep, make I no lose guard.
Well,
Baba,
like
in short, just dey help me
told
stay
you,
alive.
they are
Just
useless,
they alert me
It's
anytime.
education, not education.
Send spam message. to
Anything
text
do you?
Okay.
We have taken proactive steps to keep you safe.
All right.
Individual.
Alert service powered by AI. It's
How will I
constant
answer
in real
you?
time with no hour setup needed. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Don't let anything stop you from being active. When your headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex Extra. If you
Accident
relieve
kò tó
for
ṣẹlẹ̀
severe
l'Amẹ́ríkà.
headaches,
No,
muscle
accident
pain,
kò àìsàn àti
Àìsàn àti
àti
wọ́n
méjì.
lè be like that. Ìtẹ̀lẹ̀ àwọn àìsàn immigration.
Nìkó.
No, like àwọn officer yẹn immigration something of like wọ́n ń ṣe ọlọ́pàá o. Wọ́n ń ṣe ọlọ́pàá o. They are just law enforcement agency. They are supposed to.
Like,
For me, still get what exactly really happened. Some people were saying that the lady drove against.
no, funny thing ni pé the video that the
officer.
ICE agent actually did record by himself. Tó ń gbọ́gbọ́
But he
ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀
threw his own
release.
body cam, abi?
Yeah, no, he even used the video on the tó ń gbọ́gbọ́ fara ẹ̀ release. Ó ṣòdì tí steering lọ against him, not towards him, but away from him. That's not even my problem. You know, the problem with people is that they don't know how to tackle problems of the genesis. They just go through to the action that happens. You understand? But not what actually causes the event. Why would you, with all your training that you have, go in front of a car that you have been telling to move? You don't get, like, you understand? You're like, get out of there, but you're not out of the car. Why would you position yourself in harm's way? The harm will not come, even if you don't get that.
There's been a precedence with that officer. Every video that I'm try like to stop me because motor ain't drag the way motor ain't drag it. How that happened around sometimes last
And
year.
then there's another thing, even there's so many ways. Let me tell you, it's not every time you want to stop somebody that you have to be, that you have to stop that fatally. You understand?
Ṣé kò lè shoot you? Kò
Eh, o
lè
lè
shoot
shoot
táyà
fire,
rẹ̀.
o lè
Shoot ẹ̀ ní àyà, ó ṣètò mọ́ ẹ̀
Then with
láyà.
all the surveillance they have in America, ibo ló fẹ́ lọ?
Amẹ́ríkà dáhùn sọ pé.
So why Emeta? Okay, even if you had, because you thought the person want to ram into you, you shot the first time, you shot the second.
Ìgbà ó fẹ́ shoot ẹ̀ títí tó mọ́tò yẹn ti máa dúró náà ni. Mọ́tò yẹn lọ crash. Bó ṣe shoot ẹ̀ yẹn, kàtí mọ́tò yẹn ò sì lè crash kó gbà dànù.
Ọba àpẹẹrẹ ẹni wá sọ pé kò kiss bitch. Àwọn ti kó wá rẹ̀. Àbí tí wọ́n bá jẹ́ the only thing.
No, kó bá rẹ̀ ẹ̀ rí ìgbà táwọn Amẹ́ríkà ń ṣe é, they are supporting him now.
It may not make it to the court. Do you understand? To be, but you get to get because kò tí ẹ̀ gbà pé àwọn local authorities kan investigate it. But if it does make it to the court and there's racial interference, there are two different things. If there's judicial interference, so come on, but if there is none, if it is a fair trial, you know he's the one with all the training. Why standing? Why?
Happy happy law enforcement agency ọ̀dọ̀ wa nìkan náà wá everywhere especially against black now it seems the ladies are immigrants the ladies are immigrants
No, she's an American.
immigrant to the America then ọ̀gá yẹn wọ́n ní pé he is also married to an immigrant
wọ́n kọ́ máa ṣe fídíò lórí social media ní à wọ́n lọ ṣe fídíò ìjọba lè yóò fẹ́ gba visa Amẹ́ríkà tó lọ ní.
Oh, to become on this pay. If you are applying for visa for US, no matter what social media like you said it, they even said it.
No, that they do that obviously.
Good time moments. It's Kivo Creamer.
Even though Miriam tọmọ yẹn bá tẹ́lẹ̀dì yẹn bá lòun ò rí gan kò rí náà nìyẹn ẹ̀yìn ló gbà ìjáde mọ́.
So fun. Okay.
Masofu, let the commissioner.
Wọlé. Oh yeah.
Let the commissioner come and refute whatever.
Studio time is 9 a.m. and you're still listening to Sobi 101.9 FM. And today's review of newspaper headlines with Mariam Afolabi, Adebayo Abubakar, and Ayobola Ayinla. Adebayo, please let's wrap up that conversation talking about the US president. You said he is a populist. I think that was that comment that you made.
And the way and manner he rallies, he uses populist language to galvanize his support base. That is the ultra-white supremacists in America who believe that they are more American than other groups of America. Even they believe they are more American than the Red Indians. They met the Aborigines on the ground. So that is how he has been, doing his thing. Has brought America to this level. And with the direction he is facing now, his policy trust, the direction of his policy trust now, it will take damage he has done to all the ideals, all the virtues America has stood for over the years, over a century. What the liberty, freedom, and everything, respect for international law. It will take America decades to the damage Donald Trump has done, especially in his first 1 year of. So he is a very honest man when it comes to acting. Just that the joke is on those because one is he has never, even if you don't know the kind of thing he is, we saw all the shenanigans he put up in his first tenure. That you know that this person is very, very unpresidential. But Americans says they prefer him.
Who they want.
Now he is there, being as like a bull in China shop. And most unfortunate thing is that the UN has lost its teeth to bite. That United Nations, they've lost. In fact, the weakness of I used to condemn the weakness of AU. AU is still much stronger than the United Nations. So it's unfortunate.
Okay, talking about refugees. This one says 21,000 unregistered refugees in Nigeria is coming from the UNCHR, and says at least 21,807 foreign refugees and asylum seekers fleeing violence in neighboring countries remain unregistered in Nigeria, denying them access to food, assistance, healthcare, and other essential services. This is coming from the United Nations. And I asked this morning that if these people are not registered, is this not another issue of insecurity brewing that we do not know? Because
the way you are expected to put it is that is the architecture, that's the template through which insecurity.
Okay.
Because UN should ask themselves, does Nigeria have any record of data management or record keeping? The answer is no. A lot of things that have gone on in this country is down to lack of proper record keeping. We don't know the number of foreigners that come in through our borders. Even they don't even have a proper record of how many of us are indigenous. Those who are born today, in some health facilities, they have the facilities to record birth and death. But in so many others, they don't even have the time. I don't think they have the time. And even if they, where is the database? Where is the central management system that will ensure that everything is. That is why, as a driver, you procure a license now. Upon expiration, you to go and recapture your biometrics again, as if your DNA, your fingerprint will change. The same thing with your national passport that we erroneously call international passport. There's nothing like international passport. It is your passport, your national passport that takes you across border. So your national passport too, your biometric is already there, but you have to repeat it. Meanwhile, all you just have to do is, if you go for renewal, you put your fingerprint there to bring out your data, and then they continue with what they are. But you repeat everything you did the first time again. That is how funny we could be, and that's how serious we could be. So, expecting us to come and we have not been able to document ourselves properly. We are expecting us to come and document foreigners. If we have that kind of process in place, a Bello Truji will not be holding back, will not be disturbing the peace in the northwest the way he has been doing.
Okay, 091242210190, 0912422119, or 00518999241. Let's put our first call for today. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Rotimi.
Welcome.
Hello,
Yes, we
continue.
can hear you.
Okay, please call us back, Mr. Rotimi from Oro. It seems you're having issues with the network. Ayobela, you have something to say?
Well, I have this one from The Nation on entertainment in Foke Akindele makes history, as what they have recently released, he crosses 2 billion naira. Well, one day Adebayo Yuan would make that much in this short time.
Okay.
But seeing this as something that it's not just today. This money,
because
this
breaking our record.
breaking records. Now, can this be eye opener for African parents? So there's hardly a parent that will wake up one day and tell you, I want my child to be an actress. Either I want them to be a lawyer, doctor. In fact, they are trying now adding journalism into it a little bit. So Adebayo, how do you see this? Can this be seen as an eye opener for 2 billion naira within a very short period of time?
There's one thing about Funke Akindele that people tend to ignore. If you follow her career trajectory, he has been able to prove himself as one of the most disciplined operator that space in Nigeria. Very hardworking, very diligent, and very, very focused. There was a time a lot of people wanted to taunt her with some marital issues. But he let them realize that there is more to life than that, even though it is very important. And I can congratulate her because, number one, she set a record, breaks it, and I won't be surprised if she set another one because it's such a focus and diligence. You just have to give her flowers. I think about a day or two ago, he was with our revived.
She was in Ilorin.
She visited the Emir's palace, and when she was given the microphone, the only thing she was requesting from Emir is prayer. She has to tell you in Yoruba what you call Omo Odo Agba. It's not as there are different interpretations. What I mean is that somebody who respects elders, who respects the good wishes of elders, the wisdom of elders, and she brought that before the Emir. The Emir will bless her work. So it is such a there that people hardly mention because her stories really trend because she's not engaged in nudity, she's not engaged in controversial issues that will attract more click on social media. So kudos to her, and I will advise young ladies in our society to try and look in her direction. What is she doing? How is she doing it? What is her motivation? Learn from such a character. Kudos to her.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Okay, your contribution. Kind of people who exactly? Oh, okay.
I think it was talking
Because
about
I didn't get
President
what did you-
we need to be very mindful of how we use the word criminal.
Okay.
It is somebody who has been convicted by a competent court of law that can be referred to as a criminal. If somebody has not been convicted, please let us desist from addressing such a person as a criminal. Because Nigeria is a country with.
Okay, let's talk about health quickly. This one says sugary drinks increase risk of heart diseases in children. Is an expert, a cardiologist has said this. And let's just talk about this quickly. That we know this. I mean, of course, most of us know some of the some of the health risk of sugar, and most of the food junks that, let me not use junks, they're just about items that are being sold for children contains sugar. So
without any attempt at demarketing any product. Anytime I'm passing by in front of shops and I see a display of those drinks with different colors, my heart skips a beat. Now these are chemicals that nobody knows quantity, the amount. Are you aware that there is a particular brand, I don't want to mention brand of soft drink, that if you add it to vitamin C, the level of, there is a content in it that the level is so high that if you add it with a tablet of vitamin C, it will kill you.
You don't say.
The way they produce in Nigeria, the case was Nigeria took that particular brand to the UK, and the person was stopped. It was collected from him. I don't know whether it's a him or a her now. They tested it that that content, if anybody mistakenly add vitamin C to it, the person would die.
Could die. Okay. We'll still talk about
so
that.
So Nigerians drink all these chemicals without knowing the repercussion.
Let's come back.
Don't select
So
anything stop you from
Fanta ni Fanta ló gbà tẹ́tí gbàgbé ní Heathrow airport. Ẹ̀yìn yẹn mú láti àwọn ọgbà this Fanta we have it here. But let us see the
Fanta ti Nàìjíríà yàtọ̀ sí.
Ìgbà tó ń lọ there is a particular content tó wà ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n ní quantity tó yẹ kó wà nínú ìgò kan. Wọ́n ní it's like over percent more than èyí tó wà nínú ti UK.
You see,
Gbogbo àwọn fearless gold energy drink.
Àwọn energy àwọn yẹn
They
tẹ̀lé
are pounding your liver.
àwọn míì tó máa over láì lórí nǹkan tó jẹ́ zero sugar, so you understand. You know that they replace the sugar, Mr. Bayo, with aspartame. Aspartame is worse than sugar because the sugar you can manage it pé o ní mu púpọ̀. So but if you pay kò sí sugar, you know you over rely on kò sí sugar, and that one goes straight aims for the heart.
Something sweet, go and get a fruit, natural fruit and drink it and eat it.
Great taste, the original.
I drink them
Ọ̀rọ̀ next one sọ̀rọ̀
maybe
next
once
one. Wọ́n ní wọ́n ti padà àwọn ní kèsì padà ọmọ nípa ó ti dẹjọ́ next week.
Àlùgbà tí
ìwé fi sọ̀rọ̀
bàtà fi wà ní
kílẹ̀ ti ṣe báyìí àti tọ́ ìbù kílẹ̀ dálẹ̀ báyìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Graceland yẹn náà ni àbí. Àbúrúṣò.
ìgbà tá a wà lọ sí pẹ̀lú mọ́mí a máa sọ pé àwọn ẹ̀wọ̀n specialize lórí ọ̀rọ̀ kìnnìkìnnì wà láì pé báyìí adúlọ̀ àwọn ìsàbáyọ̀ sanwó fún dialysis ọmọ kékeré.
another silent killer tó ń pa ìrànlẹ́ kò sí bílẹ̀ náà kò sí tó ṣe iyọ̀ magi jíjẹ ẹ̀yẹ òògùn ẹ̀yẹ jíjẹ
condiment.
ẹ̀jẹ̀ bá mi lọ kíní chicken republic kíní ẹ̀dùn ọmọ kíní ọmọ náà item 7 gbogbo àwọn spices náà kó sóúnjẹ yẹn. It doesn't kill you instantly.
Today's review of newspaper headlines
Once you continue eating those things continuously for like 5-6 years.
Lọ sànú wa. Because gbogbo tá à ń jẹ ló ń pa wá báyìí kò fẹ́ẹ̀ sí nǹkan ọ̀hún mọ́. You're welcome back to today's review of newspaper headlines and editorials, the last lap of the show, the Tuesday edition, 13th of January 2026. And this discussion that we've been having before we went for that break, talking about health and sugar, let's continue quickly.
So it is so unfortunate that to see that some Nigerians don't have discipline when it comes to diets. They believe that once they have their money, they can eat whatever they like. That is why some money misroad, they know they last. Permit me to go vernacular. Money misroad, they know they last. They will eat this different combination. You will see somebody at the restaurant, you see mountain of a bar, and then big bottle of carbonated drink. You eat these things, these are carbohydrates added with sugar, everything. By the time you pile your system with all these things, you become, I don't want to go into, I'm not a health specialist, but literate enough to know what is good for my body. Some Nigerians don't know what is good for their body. It is the only thing they want is anything that is sweet on their tongue. And anything that is sweet on your tongue, that is where the goodness ends. By the time it goes down to your throat, into your system, damage, everything is going to cause there. So everything, there is this video I saw online. They said, if nature, don't eat it if nature does not make it. If it's not made by nature. Okay. Most of these things,
chemicals.
Let me tell you, even bread. Any bread you buy that does not spoil in 12 hours is not good for human consumption. Every good bread must spoil after 24 hours. Some bread will last for 1 week. Because they're eating it.
They've preserved it.
There's preservative there that causes cancer. But they will write it is this free, it is this free. God help
but
us.
how do we know if it's actually true? Quickly, let me pick this call. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, quickly. Okay, we'll move away from it. Since we all know this and we have specialists, why do we have all these agencies that are supposed to protect us against?
Not only protect, awareness, NAFDAC, Ministry of Health, State Ministry of Health, be involved in these are preventive, steps. I don't know that in annual budget for both states and local government. And the federal government. But these are measures that will save Nigerians millions, if not billions, in dollars. Because if you look at the cost of it, it's either you have this money or your life. Because there are some, the procedure that will correct them, you can't even afford it, even if it's available in Nigeria. And most of them are not available in Nigeria. So we keep eating these things. Anything that is, this is foreign, blah, blah, blah. I want to, that's what I'm eating now. I don't like it. I no longer eat mama food. You see, they've forgotten that
and
there is this Yoruba proverb that said, a grand squirrel is eating banana and dancing, not knowing that it is eating what is going to kill it. That is what is happening. Anytime we go to the mall, we see something new on the shelf. We don't even take time to read the chemical composition, the ingredients, what was used in making it. There are some food ingredients that they have their lifespan. Anything that makes them last beyond their natural lifespan is preservative, and anything preservative has adverse effect on your health. Processed foods, canned foods, energy drink. You are exposing your liver. You are exposing your liver to attack, to like missile attack.
Well, Adebayo, sometimes when you check when you see what parents put in their children's lunch boxes, you will be amazed that these are the parents. Please just, at least within a minute or two, just, tell those parents what they need to hear. Tell them what they need to hear.
The only knock such parent has is that the body system of a child can still, vitality to regenerate those damaged organs. You are damaging their life, but you are shortening their lifetime and their lifespan. So you go to the hospital and see some ailments that were associated with elderly people before children are having it.
Kids are having it now.
Even look at shape. You see shape of some children due to the kind of food they feed them with. You feel sorry for such a child. And those parents think they are showing opulence. They are showing that they are wealthy. No. Most Nigerians are very illiterate when it comes to dietary, how they go about their diets. We eat what catches. I know everybody has his craving. Most of the time you know that this is not good, but craving sometimes it has psychological effect. Those drinks that are not natural, I take it, but maybe once in a month, once in 3 months, or occasionally. I no longer buy them.
Some people they have to take carbonated.
The moment I stopped taking those things, my body told me that, look, you are doing something right.
Your body,
and I drink
the
best brand in the world anytime I go to an occasion.
Which is water.
I know. So we need to educate ourselves more on the food we eat. There was a time I have a Ghanaian friend. He's a Tyler. He's a neighbor in Lagos. We were neighbors in Lagos before. He's gone back to Accra now. He said whenever he will go to restaurant, see them prepare food, and the amount of salt they put. There was even a man beside our house selling boiled yam. The first day I ate that yam, I ate it the second day. I realized I was feeling somehow. I never knew they used to boil yam with sugar.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the last time I put sugar in my mouth directly was about 2002. So we were talking. Somebody just said, those malam yams. He doesn't eat it all. In our street. I said, why?
It's not just
there. He said, those yams that they boil with sugar.
It's almost every household.
I just cast my mind back to how it tasted the day I took it. That was the last time I ate from that malam store. So we need to be very careful how we consume all those things that are sweet on the tongue. Once they leave that tongue, that's where the goodness ends. They go into your system, damage vital organs. Those irreversible damages, that is what they go into your body system to cause. May God save us from what we eat.
Thank you very much for that. I think we can.
But we need to save ourselves first.
Okay, so let's talk about this one quickly. I don't know if we have the time. Let me just talk about the headline. Nigeria UAE seal deal on trade, agri and manufacturing. So in 30 seconds, Adebayo Baka, is this something we should be happy and hopeful that it will yield better results for, especially agriculture and manufacturing and trade?
We have seen so many of those kind of deals signed. At the end of the day, you won't see where they are operating. That is the problem. To go set the ring lights and cover the signing ceremony, it's one thing.
But to
It's
see-
another thing for you to be able to convince the prospective investors to come to Nigeria with what is happening in Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is as we are going to be joining the curtain on today's review of newspaper headlines and editorials with Mariam Afolabi, Adebayo Abubakar, and Ayobola Ayinla. You please stay tuned to Sobi 101.9 FM for more interesting programs.
Shine my eyes, make my enemies not see me. Oh, even when I sleep, make I no lose guard. But in short, just they help me stay alert. As Airtel, they alert me anytime Yahoo people send my message to take scam me.
At Airtel, we have taken proactive steps to keep you safe from every spam activity. Airtel use Alert service powered by AI. It's next in real time with no app or setup. Airtel, a reason to
Patani, good morning. How are you?
Don't let anything
Thanks
stop
for
you from
saying
acting.
and
But when
Suleiman
severe headache
Africa.
strikes, I always
How are you,
Sudrex
darling?
Extra, effective relief for severe